Thank you, Molly. The one and only Tank Davis with me right now, one of the best fighters on the planet Earth. Tank, good to see you. Why this fight? What has he done to deserve to be in the ring against you?
He's a world champion himself. He's coming up and wait to dare to be great. So we fought before, so it's history. It's history in that. There's two guys that are trying to be great.
A lot of people said they talked about y'all background with one another, how familiar you guys are with one another. Talk about that for a second. How well do you know him on a personal level in terms of your associations through the ranks, in terms of your boxing career?
I don't know that, personally,
right.
But through the boxing, we came up together and things like that. We had similar, friends and things like that in the boxing world. We fought before, so I'm familiar with his fighting style and things like that. Whoa.
Gervonta Davis delivered a chilling warning to Shakur Stevenson, and it wasn't loud or over the top. Instead, it came across calm, precise, and almost surgical, which, in many ways, made it even more intense and impactful.
You and Tank ever linked up in the ring?
Yeah, we sparred before.
Can we ever expect a fight?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's going to be one of the biggest fights in the world.
No cap.
I feel like how they talking about Earl and Bud Crawford, I feel like me and Tank going to be basically 2.0 of that.
Yeah.
Probably even bigger than that. So
that Earl and Bud, who you got?
I think it's a great fight. I ain't going to pick no winner. I'm forever rocking with Bud regardless.
Gervonta Davis sent a cold, calculated message to Shakur Stevenson, and it didn't come with shouting or theatrics. Instead, his tone was steady, controlled, and sharply focused, which ultimately made the warning feel even more powerful and unsettling.
35 contemporaries have a lot to say these days. Shakur Stevenson, well, of course, he's now 135 after all that stuff, and then Devin Haney.
Right, so why people even talk like he the best at, he didn't even fight at 135 yet.
Right.
He didn't even have power at 126, 30 or none of that.
He is good.
Okay. How can you, all that's just okay. How can you stop people that can actually hit? No matter all that boxing, you going to get.
Gervonta Davis didn't go into a long speech or try to hype the moment. He spoke briefly, with a calm confidence that made it seem like he already knows how the fight will play out before it even begins, while at the same time several fighters in the 135-pound division have been talking more than usual lately, including Shakur Stevenson, especially now that he has officially moved into that weight class. When Gervonta Davis talks about stepping in against champions and pursuing greatness, there's a clear sense of respect in the way he speaks. But underneath it all, a quiet confidence stands out, like someone who's experienced these situations before and already has a strong idea of how things are going to play out. Then Gervonta Davis makes his stance clear, calling out how some fighters bring up sparring stories to influence the narrative ahead of a fight. There's an underlying warning in what he says, because when Tank explains that this kind of talk only fuels him, it goes beyond a simple remark. It becomes a direct signal to Shakur Stevenson, even without mentioning him repeatedly. Emphasizes that experience plays a major role, that timing has to be right, and above all, knowing when you're truly prepared is what sets everything apart. In essence, Gervonta Davis is pointing out that a fighter can have talent, recognition, and technical ability, but facing him inside the ring is an entirely different situation. And that's the detail that leaves the biggest impression.
Inside the ring, but who wins that fight right now, in your opinion?
Right now, Shakur wins it because of his discipline. Because he showed against Teofimo they can stay very disciplined all night. And he's the type of guy, he don't really do a lot of crazy stuff in his life normally. So it's like discipline is a thing that is not only exercised inside the ring, it's exercised also outside.
He isn't dismissing Shakur Stevenson's ability in any way. What Gervonta Davis is really challenging is whether Shakur fully grasps the level he's about to face. It reflects the same energy Tank brings into major fights, composed on the surface, yet carrying a serious threat underneath, like a storm that doesn't need to be loud. And from Shakur's perspective, it comes across as more than confidence. It's a statement that Tank views himself as the ultimate test, not just another name in the ring.
And like it is right now, I would lean towards Shakur because of his discipline, but don't get it twisted. If somebody could beat him, Tank Davis would be that person because of his intention. When Tank is disciplined against his mind all right, Tank's a problem for anybody. Tank can fight better than most people think he can. It's just that sometimes his outside antics get the better of him, and it makes people.
Just as Gervonta Davis delivers a composed and calculated warning, speaking like someone who already sees how it all ends, Roy Jones Jr. steps in and shifts the conversation with a seasoned perspective that makes you think, as he stays calm and neutral, analyzing the situation with the insight of someone who has witnessed every level of greatness. And when he says Shakur Stevenson would beat Tank right now, it isn't meant as disrespect, but rather a technical judgment that also considers everything Tank currently has going on outside the ring. Roy Jones Jr. emphasizes discipline, showing how outside distractions can affect a fighter in the ring. He notes Shakur Stevenson's controlled style, but warns that Gervonta Davis is dangerous if fully focused, making this fight feel like a true 50-50 matchup.
Shakur, that's the fight. Everybody want to see that. That's the 50-50, I think. You know what I'm saying? I've been saying 50-50. I told both of them that. That's a toss-up to me. No bias. Don't just say that because it's your man. Who you got winning that?
I got Shakur.
Are you saying that because that's your man?
No,
you don't like Tank?
No. Hey, like I said, I respect Tank. Boxing, he's one of the ones.
Yeah.
We're gonna take his personality and personal things out of it.
Well,
boxing, he's definitely talented. You know what I mean? And he's definitely got that it. And yeah, he's definitely respect.
This fight isn't just about skill. It's a battle of styles and mindsets. Shakur Stevenson brings precise, calculated moves, while Gervonta Davis delivers explosive, fight-ending power, where one shot can change everything. Roy Jones Jr. frames it as a matchup where the winner will be the fighter who shows up most focused and at their best. And that unpredictability is what makes it so electrifying.
For fighter. You know, Shakur is different. You know, People may call him boring. People may say he can't punch. But they said the same thing about Floyd. Because they defensive fighters.
Yeah.
Tank is not going to be able to hit Shakur like he hit everybody else. And he know that. I will pick Shakur because I don't believe Tank will be able to land those big shots on Shakur like he does everybody else.
Right.
Shakur defense is just...
Terrence Crawford cuts through the hype with blunt honesty, giving Gervonta Davis full credit for his power, skill, and ring intelligence, while highlighting Shakur Stevenson's style as a distinct challenge. He isn't claiming Shakur is better overall, but points out that Tank's usual strengths, his explosiveness and timing, might not be effective against such precise, calculated tactics. It's a sharp, nuanced observation that shows the fight is about which style prevails on the night, and that tension is what makes the division so electric right now. Terrence Crawford points out a potential weakness in Gervonta Davis's strategy. Tank often starts slow, sizing up opponents before unleashing his explosive power, which usually swings the fight in his favor. But Crawford asks, what if the opponent never gives him that chance? A fighter like Shakur Stevenson moves, reads, and counters from start to finish, leaving no openings for Tank's usual equalizer. Drawing parallels to Floyd Mayweather and Tapamo Lopez, Crawford shows that when a boxer can control the pace and deny opportunities, even a top puncher can struggle. Essentially, Tank's late-round surge only works if the chance exists, and against disciplined, adaptive opponents, that advantage might never come. The debate intensifies as Terrence Crawford delivers a sharp, subtle breakdown. If Shakur Stevenson finds his rhythm, Gervonta Davis could end up swinging at shadows all night. Then the Porterway crew jumps in, turning the discussion into a strategic back and forth. One side argues that Shakur's defense, timing, and punch volume give him the advantage, confident in their take. The other side counters that Tank's ultimate form hasn't been fully seen, and a single perfectly timed shot could change everything. The conversation isn't about toughness or raw skill. It's a clash of tempo, patience, and precision versus explosive power, leaving fans and analysts wondering what truly happens when these forces meet in the ring.